All right, so uh, keyboards. Everybody uses a keyboard. You use a keyboard, I use a keyboard. If you use a computer, you use a keyboard. Uh, Something that not very many people think about, but something that I think about quite a bit because of how much time I spend on a computer is just how important it is that a keyboard is a standard or a quality that is comfortable to use for long periods of time. Uh, you can see here I got two pretty standard keyboards, something that would come with your OEM PC if you were to go that route. The standard island style keys with not much travel, or a bit of a longer, more traditional kind of keyboard with uh, a little bit more travel to them. These are fine, if you just need something. Uh, Personally speaking, I can't get the level of comfort that I need from this. So I'm just going to kind of go through my keyboard journey, if it were, for where I've landed and show what I'm using now. So that said, let's get these two freebie junkers out of the way. And next is I've got this beauty, or rather the beast, of a keyboard here. I believe this one's a 4000. Yep, this one's a 4000. Uh, the spacebar on this is a little bit quieter than the 3000. It's fine. Uh, I would normally use this with the lift that goes in the front so that the keyboard angles down and away from you. I unfortunately have lost that lift, but I've actually gone through three or four of these keyboards. Uh, I had initially switched to these because I had a bit of a problem with pronation, where I was basically giving myself tennis elbow by sitting and using a keyboard all day long. So uh, switching to this was a wonderful thing for me. I paired this with an ergonomic mouse, something that was shaped like a shark fin, and that was a cool mouse. Very difficult to get to use for things other than basic pointing. Wouldn't recommend gaming with it, but uh, that was a very good deal for me to improve my quality of life. Was mainly switching to this. Uh, that shark fin mouse I think lasted me about a year, and I ended up going back to a normal mouse. But uh, and then eventually switching to a trackball. But I do still keep a normal mouse around just for the occasional gameplay and that kind of thing. So these are great keyboards, but when you get onto the evolution of finding the most comfort as that you can while working at a computer, this seemed to be a bit of a pit stop for me. A good 4 year long pit stop on the way. And I won't show you what I'm currently using right now because I want to show what I picked up that gave me an idea for what I want to do to improve my current setup. And I had picked up just a very basic keyboard deck, and I ordered some Cherry MX Browns uh, switches, and then like a nice keycap set. I got this just on a whim. It was a kind of an inexpensive thing at the time, and I don't particularly like the 60% keyboard, but I do like is that you can see the keys here. The keys shape make kind of a bowl shape, and I had forgotten that keyboards were like that because just about everything is that flat kind of all the same plain chiclet kind of style now. So I kind of forgot about it, and I realized that I really like that. Having it curved and kind of bowl in. It feels more comfortable, like like the key is like the keys are shaped to fit to where my fingers are going, rather than having my fingers having to go all the way to find it. So I like this keyboard. It's good heft to it. Not the worst, not the best. Just a something I picked up just to try and see what I could pick up from it. Now to show what I really use. Now, normally when I'm sitting at my desk, I'm using a Kinesis Freestyle Pro, and the reason why I use this is largely for the health reasons. I like I said, I do have an issue. I do have an issue with pronation, and having the the tilting kit, which gives me 5, 10, and 15 degrees on this. I have it always set to 15 degrees. Um, it's much more comfortable for me to use, and having the separate 10 key, just laying it in the middle is great because it gives me freedom to have keep my arms straight, not bringing my hands in together. Just keeping my arms straight is really comfortable. It did take an afternoon or two to get used to, but overall I am very happy with this. I've been using it for a bit over a year now for home and at work. For home, I've got the Cherry MX Browns. At work, I've got Silent Reds, just so that I don't, bother my office mates. To get to what kind of the point of what I want to talk about, the keys on this are all the same plane, and like I had said, I liked the feel of having the keys at all. I like the feel of having the keys on at a different plane where they angle differently based on which row they're on. So I decided that I needed an upgrade to this keyboard, and went ahead and ordered myself a new keycap set that I'm going to replace these with. So I'm going to go ahead and let the recording run and get these keycaps replaced, and I'll probably speed that up for you guys so that you don't have to, suffer through that. Okay, so I've got that done, and uh, overall I'm pretty happy with the look of it. There are a few keys that are still the same because they weren't in the keycap set, so those are actually on the wrong level. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about there with that kind of a bowl shape that the keys make, and then just having some just on a lower level. It isn't as good. But the but these keys I don't use very often, so I can live with that. It is unfortunate that the enter key, this keycap set apparently didn't come with a vertical enter key for your number pad, which is weird. So I'll have to be on the lookout for that. And these buttons on the side here, these are still the original keys. This keyboard is completely remappable. Most of what I use my computer for at home is either for writing scripts to make it so that my own home life is easier, or I use it for uh, mainly for art, really. So what I'll probably end up doing is, since this keyboard is completely remappable, I will be remapping these side keys for common key combinations that I use in Krita for when I'm doing my digital art and painting. So just getting the most common ones on the side, I think will be very good. All right. So to show the reason why I use this style of keyboard, um, besides of course the mechanical keys, my other reasoning for this is also because the keys are remappable. So, for example, when I'm working in Vim, uh, To be honest, the caps lock key is basically a useless key. I understand the reason why it's there is because of keyboards from 70s and 80s. Mainly, of course, typewriters had it. It was a physical lock on the shift, so it made sense for people who learned on a typewriter. I did not. So something that I like to do is swap the escape key and the caps lock. So while I'm working in Vim, I can just tap escape and it's just right there. I don't have to reach for it. Um, and that's incredibly useful for me. If I wanted to show how that works, if I were to tap remap, escape, escape, now escape is escape again, and I can do caps lock again. So now things are normal again. But if I remap escape caps lock, remap caps lock escape, now things are how I like it. So other things that I have done is I have a tendency to favor my right hand for the spacebar. So, I tend to no matter what no matter what key I was last pressed, I almost always press spacebar with my right hand. Uh, that I understand isn't technically correct, and I could be faster at typing if I were to use both hands. So if the last keystroke that I had was on the right side, I would use my left hand to press the spacebar. Uh, I know that's supposed to be correct, but instead of doing that, I have remapped the left spacebar to be backspace. And I find that more useful because my pinky finger does not reach the backspace without having to move my hand off the home row. So it's either pinky and reach or ring finger and reach. And it's honestly I move my hand less with the ring finger. So just an odd thing that I do. Um, yeah, there are other things I can do with this keyboard, things like macros and that kind of stuff. Now, I do this kind of thing because it's a quality of life improvement for me. It, of course, number one, it is to reduce pain that I get from using the keyboard for far too long, for far too many hours out of the day. And it also makes it so that I can honestly use the keyboard less. You know, uh, you know, shorter motions of travel kind of things. So I think my next step would maybe to consider switching to the uh, Moonlander. There is a possibility that maybe going to an ortholinear style would be a good idea for me. And since I'm already uh, reprogramming where I'm putting the backspace to be under my thumb, uh, it might make sense for me to make the switch over to something like this. That said, it's very expensive, and I'm not made of money. I think that for my personal journey, as far as using a computer and using a keyboard goes, I think I'm gonna stay with the Freestyle Pro, at least for now. I understand the potential benefits of an ortholinear keyboard. I'm happy with this. I like this. I'm more happy with this now uh, with the keys that have different levels to them, so that they have a bit of a curve to it. So I understand that not everybody thinks of using a computer in the kinds of terms of quality of life that brings by using different different types of peripherals. But for me, it's not just about what's in the computer that matters. It more so matters uh, the quality of peripherals that you have, because those are the things that you interact with the most directly. So having a better keyboard, a better mouse, a better monitor, those are the kinds of things that really matter. So uh, yeah, tell me what you think. Did you find my video interesting in any way? I know this isn't typically my kind of thing to do, but I just thought I'd share. And yeah, please go ahead and comment. Give me a like and a subscribe if you'd like to see or hear more from me. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.